Good morning! These are your BYU-Idaho radio morning headlines for Tuesday, July 21st, 2026. Thanks for listening. I'm Harrison Kelly. Idaho and Wyoming are receiving over $40 million from a major federal initiative aiming to advance next-generation energy. The Idaho National Laboratory will benefit. According to Local News 8, the U.S. Department of Commerce announced the investment Monday, which aims to help the U.S. lead in industries essential to our economic competitiveness and national security. The Economic Development Administration intends to give $169 million, with a chunk of the money going to the Intermountain West. The initiative will give Idaho and Wyoming that $40 million over the next 5 years. The project seeks to improve reactor deployment and speed up commercializing next-generation nuclear tech. A 42-year-old Idaho Falls man has been accused of stealing thousands of dollars from an elderly man. According to EastIdahoNews.com, Richard D. Bierma has been charged with one count of exploitation of a vulnerable adult over $1,000, one charge of criminal possession of a financial transaction card, and one charge of grand theft. Court documents say the 73-year-old victim lost $5,784 from his bank account from 12 different unauthorized withdrawals from an ATM at U.S. Bank on 1st Street in Idaho Falls. Officers obtained security footage from February showing a man accessing the account from the ATM. The victim identified the man as Bierma. Bierma was the caregiver of the elderly man. In interviews with police, Bierma said he drove the man to pick up groceries. Later in questioning, Bierma confessed to police that he withdrew the funds to pay for drugs. However, he says the victim gave him permission for the purchase. The victim stated that he never gave Bierma permission to use his credit or debit cards. Bierma allegedly admitted to being the one shown in the photos and videos at the ATM. He is to appear in court for a preliminary hearing July 29th. If found guilty, Bierma could face 29 years in prison and pay up to $80,000 in fines. Idaho Fish and Game officers have euthanized a black bear after it broke into a Swan Valley home and ate food from the kitchen. According to a news release from the Idaho Department of Fish and Game, the male bear tore through a window screen on the night of July 12th while the homeowners were asleep inside. The bear ransacked the kitchen and ate a pumpkin pie off the table. Fortunately, the residents were unharmed and did not realize what had happened until the following morning. The bear returned again the next night to rummage through unsecured garbage cans. Wildlife officers trapped and humanely dispatched the bear due to safety concerns. Wildlife manager Eric Freeman said human safety is their #1 priority, and they are glad the people in the home were unharmed. He said when bears enter homes, relocation is no longer an option. Fish and Game reminds everyone living in bear country to secure all food attractments, which include garbage leftovers and pet food. If you have questions or need to report a wildlife concern, you can call the Idaho Fish and Game Upper Snake Region office at 208-525-7290. These have been your BYU-Idaho radio morning headlines for July 21st, 2026. Thanks for tuning in. More news, interviews, and great content are available on our podcast feed. Search for BYU-Idaho Radio on your favorite podcast apps or on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, and more. You can also ask your smart speakers to play KBYI 94.3 FM. This is BYU-Idaho Radio, and I'm Harrison Kelly.